Android Studio 3.1 is now available for download or update in the stable channel, along with version 3.1 of the Android plugin for Gradle. With it, we've switched to using our brand new dexer, D8, for all your builds. It produces on average 10 to 15% smaller and more optimized dex bytecode, without requiring any changes in application code. D8 also offers faster dexing, now works for incremental builds with the sugar, and even provides a better debugging experience when stepping through code. One thing to remember, if you had previously disabled the experimental version of D8 in your projects by setting the Android Enable D8 flag to false, it's time to remove this from Gradle properties. The sugaring of Java 8 language features is still done in a separate step in this release. However, you can try the experimental integrated desugar by setting the Enable D8 desugaring flag to true. The core IDE is now updated with improvements from IntelliJ IDEA up to the 2017.3 release, which includes better control flow analysis for collections and strings, improved nullability inference, new quick fixes, and more. We also simplified the build output window. When you trigger a sync or build, we now show a task tree with execution times, and toggle an error window in case of a failure. You can switch between the tree view and a textual log here. On the Kotlin front, Android Studio 3.1 now bundles the latest plugin and supports running lint checks for Kotlin code on the command line. We plan to continue our work to make sure we're providing first-class support for Kotlin in our developer tools. We received a lot of feature requests for the Android profilers that were released in the last version of Studio. I'm happy to say that, based on your feedback, we've added native CPU profiling for C++ code, and the network profiler can now show request data and has a threads timeline. And to make it easier to find the information you need, the CPU and memory profilers now offer filtering by class or method name. If you're using the layout inspector, it's now possible to use reference image overlays and isolate subtrees from the view hierarchy. The layout editor also got some UX polish, with new keyboard shortcuts, a way to quickly launch documentation, and a new command that lets you convert a view to another type. And just like we've developed Android Studio's layout editor in step with the constraint layout library, in this release we've taken additional care to make the code editor work great when you're using Room databases. You will now get SQL code completion, and common actions such as renaming and find usages work across SQL and Java or Kotlin code. The Android Emulator received a lot of updates since the last Studio release, focusing on speed and stability. We offer the latest system images for API levels 26 and 27, which pass CTS tests and include the full Play Store. On the features side, the largest and my favorite improvement is Quick Boot, which allows you to resume a saved emulator session in under 6 seconds. It's completely automatic after the first boot. Whenever you close the emulator, a snapshot is saved and used for subsequent launches. But in case you want more control, you can change snapshotting behavior in the settings and even initiate a state save at any given moment. Please update to Android Studio 3.1 and give it a spin. And if you're feeling adventurous, I'd also like to point out that you can try our early 3.2 canaries. As always, we'd love to get your feedback on the bug tracker. Thanks.